Good morning and welcome to Johnson Elementary, home of the Jaguars, also known as Jaguar Country. Today, I want to share with you a little bit of the history of Johnson as a building and also take you on a tour so you can see some of the infrastructure needs that could be met if the voters approve the May 5th Facilities Millage. So first, a little bit about Johnson. We're a building that was built in 1955, over 60 years ago, so we're an old building. We span 41,000 square feet and house roughly 417 children. Now when you walk into Johnson, the first thing that you may notice is that it's a vibrant building. Our walls are painted, we have new floors, because we've been fortunate to use some bond dollars in the past, or from the past, to update the building. However, when you dig deeper, there are some underlying infrastructure concerns that need to be met. And today my goal is to take you on a tour, share with you some of those concerns so you can be knowledgeable when you go to the polls on May 5th. Let's start in the parking lot. We're out in front of Johnson Elementary at our pickup drop-off area. And I want to share with you some of the damage that the Michigan winters have done to our pavement over the years. Now we have been fortunate enough to have bond dollars from previous years to fix these minor repairs, but the likelihood of these going away anytime soon isn't strong. So this is something to consider on May 5th. So we're here in my office and I wanted to share with you an unfortunate event that occurred over one of the cold spells this winter. So it was a Sunday afternoon and my custodian called me to inform me that the pipes in this heater had frozen and burst. The office flooded and it created a sauna-like effect with the heat and the cold mixing that really drenched everything on the walls and in the office. You can still see my frame behind me, which is made out of wood, is warped. The damage that was left is still visible. I don't know if you'll be able to see it on camera, so I'll tell you a little bit about it. You can still see watermarks on the drywall, and now what's happening is the tape is popping off the drywall, which means it'll eventually need to be retaped, remudded, resanded, and repainted. Now that all stems from a bigger issue, which is our aging boilers. The boilers across the district in most every building are decades old. What we find is that we have classrooms that some days either have extreme heat or, unfortunately, especially this past winter, no heat at all. So why don't we take a trip to the boiler room so you can see for yourself our aging boiler. So we're back here in the boiler room, and this is really the system responsible for pushing the hot water and ultimately heat to our classrooms. Now this system, although this looks new, has pieces and fixtures that are decades old. Thankfully we have a maintenance and operations staff that spend a lot of time really applying Band-Aids to keep the classroom temperatures at a level that are comfortable for the children. But really the manpower and the hours and really the dollars really add up. So worst case scenario, this system needs to be replaced. Best case scenario, it needs some upgrades and some fixing. So we're here in the upper elementary hallway, and you may see in the background some orange squares hanging from the ceilings. These are areas that I'd like to bring your attention to for really two reasons: ceiling tiles and light fixtures. As you've heard in the video already, these are decades old. And if you take a peek at some of the tiles, they're in some cases warped, they're stained and cracked and in need of replacement. As far as the light fixtures, these too are decades old. Now we are fortunate enough in some areas of the building to have motion sensor lights, which are cost effective and efficient. This is not one of those areas. So if you take a look, these lights are outdated, they're inefficient, and quite frankly, they're in rough shape and need to be replaced. So we're here in the boys' bathroom, and as part of the May 5th Facilities Millage, there's a proposal to upgrade our bathrooms, including partitions and plumbing. It's not uncommon to have our urinals overflow, especially during lunch when there's high traffic areas in here, which of course is unsanitary. So something else to consider on May 5th. We've been fortunate enough to have many upgrades at Johnson Elementary, greatly improving the aesthetics of the building, and for that we're grateful. We have supportive staff, parents, and a community here at Johnson. But as you can see, we still have some infrastructure needs that need to be addressed. So when you're walking through Johnson, look for the orange squares. These are areas that will specifically be addressed by the May 5th Facilities Millage. Again, thank you for your continued support, and we appreciate you taking the time to view this video.
Many of you will have questions about the Facilities Millage. In an effort to answer all of them, we've created a special logo on our website. We will continue to create a series of informational materials that explain our plans for the revenue generated if the proposal gains voter approval. So visit www.hvs.org. If you have any additional questions about the Facilities Millage, feel free to pose a question to us through the Talk to Us feature on the website. We are very fortunate in Huron Valley Schools to have a high level of support from our community. I'd like to remind you to vote on Tuesday, May 5th. Thank you for watching, and as always, we appreciate your continued support.